Welcome to 12 Weeks of Christmas. Today is week 3. Week 3, we have third week of Christmas, the book box treat or gift holder. All right. Join me in my video while I make the book box treat holder. Hi everyone, Great Power 60 here. Here is one of my favorite little treat packages that I saw. The Paper Pixie. She inspired me to recreate this, and I'm going to recreate another one here today. But I encourage you to go and watch her video. I'll link it below because she goes into a little more detail than I do. The first piece of paper you need is a 6.5 by 5.5. Another page is 9 7/16 by 3 1/4. And the closure tab, she measured it at 1 by 4 1/4, but I made mine a little bit smaller. So let's just speed through the scoring process. Now what I'm doing is just showing you sort of the 3 corners of each corner that need to be cut right off. So I'm just going to snip through them and show you that we're going to eliminate all 3 corners. So there's sort of 3 squares in each corner, just like that. We'll do it again here. We're just going to eliminate those, and let's speed this up. See, I'm just cutting off the corners. Now we're going to just trim the little pieces. We're going to notch them in a little bit. As I said, if you watch the Paper Pixie, she will go into a little bit more detail and show you how that's done. Now what I'm doing is going to put a little gnome picture in the inside just to add something. Now she's added DSP and a message. For me, I'm just going to add this little cute gnome in the middle. Let me grab it here. It's a little further away. I can't remember what it said. Let's have a look here. Oh, chillin' with my gnomies. I thought this was cute for the boys. So now what we're going to do is add some double-sided tape to the 4 sides. Now you can use liquid glue and do it later, but it just works better if you use the double-sided tape. Again, let's speed this up. Now that I've got all of the sides taped, I'm going to take off the double-sided tape because it's a little bit easier to take it off now than to take it off later. So you're just going to see me take the tape off, and then we're going to glue those small little tabs and get everything kind of, this is the inner box. I don't know if I mentioned that before. This is the inner box of the little book box. So we'll get that all done. Now we're going to get my liquid glue, and we're turning it over, and we're just going to add some glue to each of those small little tabs that we nicked out. What do we call that? Anyway, and now we're going to take one of the corners and we're going to start forming our box. And as we do that, we just have to be a little careful because the double-sided tape is out. So now I am just going to, what I forgot to do in this part was to burnish the little tabs down. So now I have to kind of push them down to get them to fit. So that was my boo-boo. But if you follow the Paper Pixie, if you follow her video, it's much more clear and a little easier to understand. So I'm just showing you how I'm clumsily putting this together. What I like about it and what she's done here is because of the added side pieces, it's actually made this little box part a little stronger than just using regular paper. Again, I have to push it down because I didn't burnish it. Once I've done all of this, I'm going to use my bone folder and just push them all down. Again, I forgot. I could have thrown this video out and done it again, but for little boo-boos like that, it's good to see some boo-boos. Sometimes we have to hold it with the liquid glue so that it would take. So we're just going to rub them all down, get them all rubbed down really good. There we go. Now we're going to fold in the sides, the bigger sides first, and push those down, and then the smaller ones will push those in, and that's our little treat box area. Now I'm going to burnish it really well to make sure that that tape sticks. The other thing that I like about the way she created this was not only to give the little box part sort of reinforced sides, she's done the same with the cover, and you're going to see that in a minute. I'm just going over it to be absolutely sure, and there is our little box. I'm just making sure that all the ends are nice and neat. And now we're going to do the cover. So again, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Because the cover is kind of a double cover, I don't know how I can explain that. We're going to fold over each of these sides so that it kind of gives you a reinforced cover. I'm just going to put some extra tape on there to make sure that they adhere well. I don't want to use any liquid glue at this point because it could buckle and it kind of ruins the look of the book itself. We're going to burnish it down, make sure that they're sticking really good, and now we're going to poke that. Use my picky tool. I noticed everybody's saying picky tool now. Kind of fun. So now we're going to fold that on the first score line. We're going to fold that in, and we're going to burnish that well and make sure that the double-sided tape is sticking well, and I'm just making sure that all the folds are nicely burnished because I forgot for the little tabs. So you can see by using the extra paper, making it extra long for the cover, you've sort of got a double layer of paper for the cover so that it now, I'm just making sure that it matches the, I did do a bad job on this one because everything was a little off. I think I cut it wrong, so I have to snip off, but you know what? We can always fix our little boo-boos. And because I was doing this so quickly and doing it for camera, I wasn't happy with the final result, but we do the best we can. Now I'm taking the DSP that I decided to use for this particular little book box. And again, for the measurements and so on, if you check the Paper Pixie's video, she will give you the exact measurements. And I think that I mismeasured these as well. But I'm just going to use some tape to go over it. This is, if it was something that I was doing to give as a gift, I would probably do a better job of sealing everything, cutting properly, and making sure that everything is lined up nicely. So here we are. I'm just going to put that on. Make sure I don't do it upside down. So I think for this one, I just did one for the cover and one for the side. I don't think I cut a piece for the back. But it looks nicer if you cover all three sides. And again, it's better to put this all on before you glue the whole thing together. Just makes it a lot easier. So again, I'm just making sure that the folds are nicely burnished. And for some reason, mine was a little off, and I was kind of ticked off about it. But I was almost done the video and didn't want to start all over again. So here I'm trying to correct the mistake. I think I cut it wrong is what happened. Is, you know, I was in a hurry to cut it for the video, and I think I made a couple of little boo-boos, but you'll get at least the basic idea on how to put it all together. Now what she did, what I did as well, and I didn't shorten this one, and I wish I had of, because the score lines were not correct for my particular, and I think I might have cut it too long, I'm not sure. But this is the 4 1/4, and I just found it was a little bit too long. Now we're just gluing the box down. I put the little strip down that's going to be the closure, and then I put it under the box. I liked that better. I think with the 4 1/4, she had taped it on the back for her first one, and she'll show you that in her video. So now I am going to adhere the side to the binding of the little book, the little side binding. I'm going to make sure that that is all glued down nicely, and pretty much that is the book. You can use different things for closure, but as you can see, I found it was way too long, so I think I cut it. Oh, I realize what I did now. I had forgotten to get my Velcro, and I use Velcro to close mine, but like I said, I found that that was a little bit too long, so I've decided to cut it down. She used some really pretty oh, I forget what it's called. I think it's like a tag punch to make the closure end pretty. So for me, I just snipped off 2 little corners just to give it a little bit of style, but it really wasn't. You can do just about anything to the end of the closure. Now I'm adding the loop and hook Velcro type closure, and I'm just taking the candy out to put it in to give me a little bit of leverage so that when I close it with the Velcro, they'll attach. Another tip that she showed me was she put all of the hook and loops together in their matching set, and that way all she had to do was cut out one every time she wanted to use it. Let me show you how to do that later on. So right now I'm just kind of trying to get it all fixed up nicely here. I'm going to open it up in a second and show you how to reinforce that Velcro. At least I think I am. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. So now I'm just showing you, I just wanted to add a little something like I did with the other box to the closure. You can add things, you can put little things on there so that it would look pretty, and here I used a little snowflake. Well, forgive this quick little, here I'm pressuring the hook and loops. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was not the best, but please check out the Paper Pixie linked below. Oh, and join me again for another Christmas Craft Ideas 2021.